All right, so we get this question often. Can you go to jail if you're arrested for driving without a license? The answer is yes. It's not common, but you can. And this happens sometimes if you're in an accident, even when the accident's not your fault, because they're gonna check to see if you're licensed. Now, if you're in this situation, we can help you. Give us a call at Hines Law. Hey everybody, it's Attorney Matt Hines, and I got a question for you. If you plead guilty to a DUI, will you lose your driver's license? The answer is yes. However, there are numerous ways you can save your license if it's done correctly in court. If you have questions, give us a call. We get this question a lot. If you're a passenger in an Uber or Lyft, can you recover if you're injured? The answer is absolutely. And you may be able to recover against two different drivers, the Uber driver and the other party that was responsible for the accident. If you have any other questions, call us at Hines Law. Hey everybody, it's Attorney Matt Hines, and a lot of people have been calling our firm and asking, will my case get delayed if I switch attorneys? The answer is no. Now, sometimes attorneys do want more time to prepare for the case, to research a few things, to get acquainted with the other side, the judge and whatnot, but procedurally, no. There is no delay if you decide to switch attorneys. One of the most common reasons people switch attorneys is because the attorney won't call back. And if you need to switch your attorney, call us. We are always here to help you, and we'll make sure that the transfer is seamless.
Hola, mi nombre es Erika Perotti. Solo quería contarles mi experiencia con los abogados Matthew Hines. Me encantan, súper profesionales. Todo su equipo están siempre ahí para responder a todas nuestras preguntas. Estoy recibiendo la recompensa de un caso que tuve y estoy muy contenta, muy agradecida con ellos. De verdad, se los recomiendo. Estoy muy feliz con sus servicios. Gracias, Matthew Hines.
If you've been charged with a DUI, you probably have many questions, and one of those questions is, what happens if I refuse the breathalyzer test? Now, this is actually a trade-off. If you refuse the test, it's likely the cops will take you to jail. However, the cops also won't have any evidence to use against you later on in your case, so it will benefit you. Everybody ask our firm, what should I do? You should always refuse the breathalyzer test. If you have any other questions, call us at Hines Law.
¿Tuviste un accidente de carro y no tienes licencia? Mucha gente cree que no puede reclamar, y eso es falso. En Georgia, si el otro conductor tuvo la culpa, aún tienes derechos. No dejes que el seguro te engañe. Contáctanos hoy. La asesoría es 100% gratuita.
So if you're hit by a driver, and it turns out that driver does not have insurance, there are options. The first and easiest option is if you have uninsured motorist coverage, we can use that to cover your hospital bills, your medical bills, and to get you paid. The second option is to possibly look for assets and sue that driver so that you can recover. Third, there may be other insurance policies out there that can help you get a recovery. If you have any other questions, give us a call at Hines Law. We can help you.
Hola, buenas tardes. Aquí nos encontramos con una clienta. Ella encantada de darnos su experiencia. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Mi nombre es Rebeca Pedreaño. Estoy encantada de haber trabajado con ustedes.
Ok, Rebeca. Y cuéntanos, ¿qué tipo de accidentes tuviste?
Bueno, tuve un accidente de tránsito. Una persona me llegó y bueno, decidí llamarlo a usted.
Ah, perfecto. ¿Y tu experiencia con nosotros?
Bien, 100% espectacular con ellos. Todo el tiempo han peleado mi caso y bueno, muy agradecida de él.
Muchísimas gracias.
In Georgia, if you're arrested and you don't speak English, and the police don't properly translate what they're saying for you, this can help you in court. Call us at Hines Law and let us defend your rights. Probably the most emotional case I've ever had was a serious accident. Our client was in the back seat and his friend was doing donuts, and it caused the car to flip. And when the car flipped, it crushed our client's face. He was like halfway out the window. And I remember when he was telling me about this story, how horrified I was, because I felt horrible for him. It wasn't his fault. It was his friend's fault, all his friends' fault. And he would describe the injuries, and I won't go into detail, but it was just horrific and it changed his life. And I just remember feeling so bad for the guy. We did fight for him. We got him a settlement to try to help him get on with his life. but nothing will change the type of injuries that he had to experience. So that would be the most emotional I've ever seen from a client.
¡Ganamos el caso!
¡Otra publicidad!
¡Otra promoción!
Quítalo.
No, ya no. No, Mago.
Lo que no puedes omitir es llamarnos en casos de accidentes. En Hines Law, estamos listos para pasar rápido a conseguir tu compensación.
One of the biggest complaints about attorneys is they don't call back. If you're with an attorney and he is not calling you and not keeping you informed about your case, we will take responsibility and switch your case over to our law firm for free. We will represent you well and we will make sure you are informed about what's happening. Give us a call at Hines Law. If you're not legally allowed to work in the United States, can you still recover for a work injury? The answer is yes, you can. We've helped hundreds of clients who don't have actual work permits recover if they've been injured at work. If you have any questions, call us at Hines Law. So, if you plead guilty to a DUI, how long does it stay on your record? Unfortunately, the answer is it will probably stay there forever. The only one exception that we've been able to work out for our clients is in the negotiation, it's decided and agreed to between the prosecutor and the attorney that as part of the deal, the charge will be removed. Otherwise, the DUI is going to stay there for a while.
¿Estás en shock? ¿Te duele el cuerpo? ¿Tienes la cabeza a 1000 por hora? Eso pasa después de un accidente de auto. Ahora mismo no sabes si van a cumplir con los daños de tu carro, con tus lesiones, con tus gastos médicos. ¿Quién se hace responsable? ¿Y si aceptas un acuerdo rápido y luego no cubre tus gastos médicos? Te vas a acordar de esto. Te lo dije. Hoy es el momento de la solución. No te equivoques. Tú y yo sabemos que necesitas estrategia y más de 20 años de experiencia para que tu dolor y los daños sean compensados. Llama a Hines Law. Yo los conocí y te lo digo de frente. Son reales. Soy Bárbara de Regil y ellos pelean por ti, te lo aseguro.
If you're charged with a DUI, how much time will you spend in jail? That's a very common question. You can spend up to a year in jail, but if it's your first DUI, it's probably going to be 24 to 48 hours, depending on how well your lawyer does, what the evidence is against you, and some other factors. So if you have any other questions about this, call us at Hines Law. We help many clients with DUI charges. If you're involved in a car accident and you don't have health insurance and you don't have money in the bank, how are your medical bills going to be paid? The answer is we will take care of those for you upon settlement. So our law firm makes sure you're represented and that your case settles properly. And after the case settles, we will pay the doctors for you. If you have any other questions, call us at Hines Law. If you pulled over for a DUI, do you know your rights? If the cop requires that you take field sobriety tests, do you have to say yes? The answer is no, you don't have to take the field sobriety test. There are limited situations when the cop can require you to. However, the majority of the time you are not required to take field sobriety tests, and it's our advice that you don't. If you have any other questions, call us at Hines Law. All right, everyone, so we've heard about Maduro, we know about Venezuela. So what does it mean when someone is charged with narco-terrorism? Well, basically that means you're smuggling drugs illegally and you've combined that with some form of illegal political activity. So when Maduro doesn't allow elections, he kicks out people from government and then smuggles drugs. He is now responsible for narco-terrorism. All right, everybody, so the question is, if Maduro is charged with narco-terrorism and he's found guilty, what's his penalty? Well, basically the penalty is 20 years to life in prison. 20 years to life, pretty serious stuff. So let's see what happens. In a work injury case, did you know that if the company doesn't do certain things, you can get a higher settlement? But there's a very specific way an attorney has to do this and take advantage of it. Call us at the law offices of Matthew C. Hines. After an accident, how do you know if the settlement offer is low? Well, I'll tell you one way is when you talk directly with the insurance companies and they give you a quick offer without you ever seeing an attorney. call us at the law offices of Matthew C. Hines. Did you know that if you're hit by a truck, a commercial vehicle, or an 18-wheeler, your settlement can be a lot higher? Why is that? Normally, it's because the insurance policies that cover those vehicles are a lot higher, and certainly the injuries that follow may be worse also. So if you've been in this type of situation, let us know. We have the trained experts that know all about the different laws that apply to these vehicles and how to use that to get you the best settlement possible. Call us at Law Offices of Matthew C. Hines. Why do innocent people sometimes go to jail? This is a heartbreaking situation that should never happen. Two of the reasons is they talk without seeing their attorney first, and second is their attorney didn't fight hard enough. Call us at the Law Offices of Matthew C. Hines.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Dayana Ramírez. Estoy aquí para contarles un poquito sobre mi testimonio. Tuve un accidente laboral en la empresa en la cual estaba trabajando por un cable que estaba mal situado. Se le hizo el llamado a nuestros supervisores. Ellos hicieron caso omiso y bueno, desafortunadamente yo me caí estando con 4 meses de embarazo. En ese momento no tuve el apoyo de mis empleadores y fue cuando contacté a los abogados y de verdad que desde el principio ellos me dieron la seguridad de que en mi caso ellos iban a hacer valer mis derechos y así fue hasta el final. De verdad los recomiendo el 1000%, les doy las gracias a todo el equipo. Yo pensaba que iba a tardar más de lo debido y de verdad el trabajo de ellos fue magnífico, fue rápido y les doy la confianza a ustedes. Si llegase a pasarles algo como me sucedió a mí, que no duden en llamarlos y contactarlos, que yo sé que ellos los van a ayudar.
Te lo dije, nuestros clientes tienen muchas razones para elegir Hines Law. Contáctanos.
Y si el otro chofer se fue corriendo del choque, les quiero decir que ya hemos ganado casos donde el otro conductor huyó. Lo importante es que nos llames rápido. Nosotros sabemos cómo buscar cámaras, testigos y pruebas antes de que se pierdan. En un caso real de nosotros, en Austell, logramos resolver un caso de hit and run gracias a grabaciones de cámaras de una gasolinera que el cliente ni sabía que estaban ahí. Pero nosotros sí. Por eso siempre seremos su mejor aliado en casos de accidente. Escríbenos tu caso y te asesoramos totalmente gratis. Si usaste otro nombre en el trabajo, no te preocupes. Esto suele ser un tema muy común en nuestras consultas. Hemos visto esto muchas veces. En Georgia, la ley protege a todos. Lo importante es que estabas trabajando y te lesionaste. Nosotros manejamos tu caso con cuidado y sin juzgar. Hace un tiempo tuvimos un cliente en Gainesville. Una vez esta persona usó un alias, pero con recibos de pago y testimonios del supervisor, el caso fue exitoso y logró obtener su compensación. Así que escríbenos ahora y te decimos qué hacer paso a paso.
Have you been charged with a serious crime? Whether it's DUI, trafficking, drug offenses, robbery, any crime that lands you in jail for more than 10 years, call us at Hines Law. We have the absolute best attorneys that are ready and willing to help you and defend your rights.
Sí, definitivamente. Aunque no tuviste la culpa, igual vas a tener que arreglar el carro, ir al médico, faltar al trabajo y todo eso cuesta. El seguro no te va a dar lo justo por su cuenta. Llámanos primero y nos encargamos de que no te quedes pagando por algo que no fue tu error.
Antes de hablar con el seguro o decir algo que puedan usar en tu contra, llámanos a Hines Law. Suena fuerte, pero hemos visto demasiadas personas arruinar su caso por confiar en la aseguradora. Tú enfócate en tu salud. Nosotros nos encargamos del resto.
Sí me lo dieron.
¡Sí! Te lo dije. Todos se han sentido defendidos con Hines Law. La atención es inmediata y te explican todo con claridad. Y hacen seguimiento de tu caso hasta que recibas lo que mereces después de un accidente de auto.
La verdad me fue increíble con Matt Hines. Ahora pasa la voz y no digas que no te lo dije.
Nuestro éxito lo dicen nuestros clientes. Solo da el paso y llámanos.
En Hines Law nos importa defender tus derechos y que obtengas tus máximos beneficios en caso de accidente. Contáctate con nosotros.